Welcome to another episode of Women in Focus. Our Woman in Focus today is an old friend of mine, and I have known her for many years. I've always thought of interviewing her, but something always comes up. And then the other day, there was an issue with human resources, and the only person I could think about was Gulzaar Tejpar. And she is our Woman in Focus today. Let's meet her. How are you doing, madam?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Sushmaji.
Now, isn't it interesting that you and I have known each other for such a long time?
So long.
And you've helped me a lot with my human resources questions. HR, really, that's what it is called, right? Would you believe that about 20 years ago, I really realized what HR was all about?
Right.
How did you get into HR?
Gosh, I was going to do my MBA in Australia, and I was destined to do accounting.
Okay.
And I went there to do accounting, and I think I took one course in calculus, and that was it. There's no way I can add anything together. It was clearly the wrong choice of career.
Right.
And then I came across a course in HR, which was taught by a professor who taught at Quantico in the United States for the FBI. And I think the way that she orated the class and taught me, what it means to actually have an effect in human resources changed my life. And I think that's from then on, I moved to doing everything human resources, all my courses, all my career choices.
Really?
And I've loved it ever since then. And that was in 2000.
2000. Isn't that interesting? Now, why did you have to go to Australia to study?
I was in Kenya at the time, and my choices were Canada and Australia being slightly closer, maybe by an hour. I wanted to do something different, and I also wanted to be in a warm country for a little while and experience something different for 2 years.
Now, being born in Kenya, then I assume.
Kisumu.
Kisumu.
Yes, Lake
Isn't
Town.
that beautiful? A couple of our friends are currently visiting East Africa, and they're in Dar es Salaam right now. Now, being born there, so your family must have been there for a long time.
Yes,
How
quite
long?
a few generations.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 generations, I would say.
3 generations there.
Yeah.
And then what made you guys leave Kenya, and why?
We saw what happened in Uganda. I mean, we saw what happened with Idi Amin, and I think my dad's family said, it would be a good idea right now to get a few brothers out in a country where we have another foot, in case the same thing should happen. And it was foresight on their part. And so my dad and the 2 other brothers came to Vancouver. Okay. And we bought a house. I think at that time in Deep Cove, it was something like $60,000, and it was so fascinating. That was in '74.
Oh wow!
And so we all moved here, and I got educated in high school and went to Windsor. Yeah. And graduated, almost graduated. And when I was 11, grade 11, we moved back to Kenya.
Oh, so you went back to Kenya, and your parents decided that.
They said it was a good idea when I was in grade 11 to go back to Kenya.
Grade 11? You didn't even finish your grade 12 here.
No.
So then how was it going back to a country where you were born but very little when you left?
Yes, it was different. The people who had known, my cousins, they had all grown up there, and the culture was different, especially in schooling. I mean, you go back to the British system, you have Form 1, Form 4, and I didn't understand it, I was young, and so I went to the international school and had an American type education. Okay. Didn't have to wear a uniform, which I couldn't.
Is it from Kenya then you went to Australia?
From Kenya, I went to Australia.
Wow. But you'd already been to Vancouver.
Yes, I did. I was working for Emirates, Emirates Airline at the time. Prior to that, KLM. So I was in the airlines, and they had told me that, we're looking for people in accounting, so go and get your MBA, and then
An MBA was,
that was it.
no,
Was
no.
not in the cards. The finance part of it.
So is it that you don't like math? Because all Gujaratis do. And they are great at it.
My boss and I laugh about this a lot
Yeah.
on a daily basis. Yeah, that he can add very quickly, and I just can't. So, till today.
He adds very quickly and you don't.
Till today, yes.
Okay, maybe when I have to get some money from you, I will do all the calculations. Now, being born and brought up in Kenya, a lot of beautiful areas where we all grew up, right?
Right.
And mom and dad been there for such a long time, you being born there. So really, if I calculate it, you were there for very little time, then you spent most of your growing up here, and then you went back again there.
Yes.
How were mom and dad with you?
My mom and dad, I'm the only child.
Oh, you're the only child. I was going to come to that.
I'm the only child, yes.
Okay.
And, you know, my mom and dad are very close to me. I would say I was the apple of my dad's eye, for
Right.
sure.
Yes.
And my mom will always be the apple of my eye. So,
Isn't that just beautiful? I want to come to your mom and dad, but I would like to take a very short commercial break. And then we'll talk about mom and dad, because your mom is just an amazing woman.
She is. She is. Thank you.
Gulzar is our woman in focus today. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Women in Focus. Gulzaar Tejpar is our woman in focus today. I've always been fascinated by your last name. Where does that come from?
No idea.
No.
No idea. I inherited it just like I presume my grandfather's grandfather had it way back in India at some point.
In India. Oh. And so they come from the Gujarat part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Now, you're an Ismaili by faith.
I am.
Now, the Ismaili community is a very close-knit community.
Yes.
We help each other very much. When the issue in Uganda came up, Hazir Imam looked after everyone, all the people who lived in Uganda. Did that help come to everybody in Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania?
I think that, as I said, seeing what happened in Uganda and seeing that the Aga Khan at the time did help our Ismaili people to come to Canada with the help of Trudeau, did open some eyes as to my family saying, you know, we need to disperse out in the world a little bit more, given that Kenya could be unstable, could not be unstable. We were fortunate enough, though, that it was a very stable country.
Yeah, very stable. And even now, there are a lot of beautiful opportunities in Kenya.
Yes.
People go back there all the time.
Yes.
You guys did that.
Yes.
Now, growing up, you said you were your dad's apple of his eye, right? So were you spoiled?
Very, very spoiled.
Whatever
by
you
him.
want.
By him, you know, and it's the usual, you know, bad cop, good cop. My mom would, you know, wonder what would happen to me if I was this spoiled.
Yeah.
But yes, he was very caring, and you know, I used to, if you know Windsor, we used to live at the bottom of a hill in Deep Cove, and Windsor was on the top. I used to put my bike in the car, and I used to drive it up so that I could ride it down, so that I didn't have to ride it uphill. You know, things like that you would do, and everybody knew that. You know, it was a very close relationship.
Now, losing a parent is always the most difficult and hard thing to do.
Yes.
And what happened?
He had a few illnesses,
Yes.
and this happened in 2013. And he, you know, we knew that he was not going to live long after he was diagnosed. And I asked him, you know, Dad, where do you want to be? And he said, I want to be home. And we had a very small house with not the facility that one would need. So we had him in the living room, and you know, he passed very peacefully.
Right.
I left working at that time, and looked after him. But I think, you know, having seen that, it definitely made me a lot more protective of the parent that was left.
Yes.
You know, my mom, and probably overprotective, as she says. But that's what gear kicked in
Right.
after my dad
But you
died,
know,
being the only child.
Yeah, and your mom is an amazing person. We get to meet her very often.
Yes.
And did she teach you how to cook, or did you leave it all on her?
Where do I know how to? I don't know how to cook.
No, so you leave it all on
I
her.
leave it all on her. She's a fantastic cook, and the little that I know are things like something like prawns she will not touch.
No.
So it's a very balanced relationship.
So you would do that for her, and she would do all the
Yes.
the vegetarian and the
Yes.
chicken stuff for you.
Yes.
Now, Gulzar, being with your mom and dad and being the only child, and looking after your mom right now, also working, must be, the balance of doing everything must be weighing quite heavy on your mind.
Yes, I mean, like I'm sure that there are many people who, have. I'm very blessed.
Right.
Who have it a little more difficult. Or for me, my mom, right now is very, very self-sufficient. She's very independent, and touch wood, she's healthy. So she's a blessing to have in the house.
Yeah. I want to come back to your profession, because that fascinates me. When you finished your course in human resources, decipher human resources for me. What is human resources?
A lot of people have a misconstrued idea that you're in human resources, do you hire and do you terminate? I mean, that's pretty much
Hire, fire.
Hire,
Yeah.
fire. What people think, and I look at it as a wheelhouse. It has an facet of training and development.
Okay.
It has compensation and benefits, full rewards programs that you look at,
Yeah.
performance management, of course, hiring, recruitment, and succession planning. Those are a few in the wheelhouse of HR, which culturally shapes the organization.
Oh.
It's an area of the organization where if you're too stringent on your policies, you create a kind of dictatorship
atmosphere.
type administrative,
Yeah.
a lot of red tape kind of organization. If you're a little bit too lenient, then you're attracting a different type of personnel. So for me, human resources was the key to development and developing people. And when I see people who I've given maybe the first job in Canada, and I go back and we meet or something happens after 10, 12 years, and they're with a family, own a house, are moved forward in their career, that is success to me.
Of course.
Seeing that person given a chance and having them grow in their field.
Isn't that just interesting? So you've looked at a totally different aspect of human resources. So you've really looked at what a person can give to the company and to the community in return.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a full cycle, right?
Yeah.
And the other day I met somebody who I had given a job to, and he's now married. He has 2 kids, and he is finished his MBA, and he is the vice president of manufacturing.
Wow.
And it was such a toss-up between him and another candidate at the
Right.
time, and I remember it very
Yeah.
well. And you wish, you were part of that growth. And
Right.
I think that having to see that really does tell me that I've always loved human resources, and this is the reason
Yeah.
why.
And it's a result of that.
Mhm.
I want to delve a little bit more into human resources, but let's take a very short commercial break and come back.
Yes.
We are getting into the nitty-gritty of all the stuff today with Gulzar. So don't go away. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Women in Focus. Gulzar Tejpar is our Women in Focus today. We were talking about human resources. And I always feel that the person who is interviewing has got a set of questions, and I bet they've done some psychology courses. Do you fall back? Do you interview people when you're
Yes, I do.
hiring? You're the one who are.
No, I have a team.
Okay.
However, there are certain times when I do get involved.
Okay, so now the company that you're working for, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it's a fascinating society. It's called Intellectual Disabilities Society of North and West Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
So I do go to North Van, and we have about just under 300 staff, and we service people with intellectual disabilities, and we, visionary. Our vision is to make their lives a little bit better.
So the society gives service to intellectually
Yes.
disabled people.
Yes,
Okay,
we do.
getting into this company, and I know when you got this job, you were very happy, and even now you're very, very happy about the place. When people go for a job and they get a job that fits their needs and the way they think, it is the most rewarding place to be in.
It is.
Is this how you feel about this particular position?
Yes, and to answer that, I live in Coquitlam, and I do the commute to North Van every day. So I
Wow.
definitely like what I do.
So it's the bridge
The
that
bridge
you
is going and the bridge is coming back. So
But
yes,
it's worthwhile.
that is rewarding. It's fulfilling. One, because I've never worked for a non-profit
Yes.
before. I've always worked for profit, and
Right.
profit-driven companies are very uniquely different from non-profit.
Can you explain?
Well, when you're hiring people, you're looking for sales, and you're looking for people who can sell and people who can make money at the end of the
Right.
day. Systems that can make money. Everything is around what can we bring to the profit table.
Okay.
And in a non-profit, you're actually looking at what can we do to uplift somebody's life. And, thanks to a lot of people who assist us financially,
Yeah.
including government and all that, we are able to do that. And I think knowing that that is your focus on a day-to-day basis really helps to align yourself with what you can do in HR.
Isn't that just beautiful that your main focus is helping people,
Absolutely.
and those who cannot help themselves,
Correct.
really,
Correct.
and giving them all the... So when you're hiring people for that sort of a position, people with a lot of empathy is the only one then you can hire.
People with empathy, people with a little medical background obviously would help,
Okay.
because they're administering meds. People generally who want to make it better for another person. And I think you're right. Empathy is very important. Compassion is important, and excellence.
So in this sort of a field, there must be, and this is not the only place you've worked at other places as well. So there must be some issues that come up, right? When people don't get along together, management and people, and then they are loggerheads with each other. And that's where a calm person like Gulzar comes in. And how do you guys make it all smooth and better? And how do you know that this person is going to be good for the position, or this person is going to work in teamwork or not?
I think you can see it within the first 3 months.
Really?
You can definitely see if a person is really caring, and
Right.
if they want something, what is our vision, which is to make their lives better, people with intellectual disabilities. And you can see that very clearly. They help in the teamwork, they help with the preparation of their meals properly, they take an interest in their lives, they take them out swimming or something else, and they enjoy it. I think that's the key. And when you see that, you can see talent very quickly, that, we want people like that in our organization, in our society.
Within our own communities, have you seen any organization that helps?
I have not as yet, and I've only been a year and a half in this company, so
Right.
I'm still learning about disabilities and what it means. I'm sure there are, but I haven't seen them yet.
There's one that comes to my mind. I think you might have worked a little bit with them, and that was Shamak's group of dancers.
Yes, Shamak supports us a lot.
Yeah.
He himself comes and he dances with people,
Right.
with our individuals, and he makes, they love it. And partnering with Shamak is great, and kudos to him for doing that.
Now, in your day-to-day work, how does your, apart from driving from Coquitlam to North Vancouver. Not listening to Spice Radio anymore.
I used to, yes, I
Yeah.
did.
And not anymore. And you don't have an iPhone, so you can't have Rim Jim.
Imagine.
Isn't that just a bum deal? Okay. You do for entertainment?
Movies.
Ah.
You remember that?
Oh, that's where Landmark comes in.
That's where Landmark comes
Okay.
in. I love going to the movies. I used to play badminton. I want to
Right.
start that again. And, you know, I'm trying very much to convince my mom to get a pet.
Yeah.
So let's see if that works.
No.
But,
you don't want to do that.
Traveling is one of my hobbies for sure. Traveling and being on a beach.
Oh, beach. Oh, yes. How many countries have you visited, and is there one on your bucket list?
Well, I used to work for Celebrity Cruises.
Okay.
So I have visited many, many, many countries.
Celebrity Cruises. How
with
was
the cruise
that?
lines. It was very interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was extremely interesting. Just to be doing human resources on a moving ship where,
Right.
you know, your staff are transient, they come, they go, based on their contracts, training them.
Yes.
It was very interesting. But being on the ships, I've seen a lot of the Mediterranean, a lot of the Gulf of Mexico, you know,
Right.
the Caribbean,
Wow.
Alaska, but Caribbean a lot.
Yes. And that's my favorite
Is it?
place. Yes, the Caribbean is. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Hopefully still with Intellectual Disabilities Society, and maybe try and move closer at some point. But I see myself very much footed in Vancouver.
Beautiful.
You know, I love the city. Every time I go on the bridge, you see the beauty. And
Yes.
you know, Rumi actually once said that you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the whole ocean in one drop.
Yes.
And when I think of that, you know, and I pass those bridges, it resonates in
Yeah.
that there is always something positive in the day that will happen.
Beautiful. That's a positive outlook. That's why you are in this in this profession. Gulzar, I always knew that there was something special about you. Now I know why.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, and it's been wonderful.
Thank you for being our Woman in Focus today. Gulzar Tejpar has been our Woman in Focus today. Don't go away. We'll be right back.